table. Welcome to my mobile broadcast. I have been extremely busy, so I apologize. No excuses, but I have been busy. So I decided, you know what? I'm still moving. Let me go ahead and put out some content for all my followers, all my subscribers, because I got to continue to put it out there. But today, we're going to talk about something. I was thinking about this concept about a month ago. Sometimes I have thoughts and I have to sit on these thoughts. But what I wanted to talk about is the audacity of females having standards when they've been allowed to date the kind of guys they want. I know that sounds a little bit vague, so I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to get into there. But before I get started, before I get in the kitchen and get cooking, because you notice what I do when I get on this camera, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. So, I know you guys are wondering, Daniel, what the heck are you talking about? What do you mean women have been allowed to date exactly who they want? Or they've been allowed to date the exact specification of a man that they want? Well, I'm glad you asked. Think about it, gentlemen. Think about women and the choices that they make for the men that they decide to be with. See, the biggest difference for us to them is that men can have specifications. Men can have requirements. Men can have standards. And I encourage that. But the reality is, most men's ability to command or demand the exact specifications of a woman that they want are solely based on where that man is in life, what that man is able to provide, what type of experiences that man is able to produce before he can even go to arriving at the state in life where he can choose the type of woman he wants to be with. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. We all have choices as human beings. We are not living in a time where you are forced to have to do anything. That's not what I'm saying. But I digest content like I tell you guys all the time. I listen to other podcasts. I'm constantly consuming and observing, trying to hone my craft, be better for you guys so I can deliver better quality of content. And what I keep finding is this consistent regimen of how women will say that they have these relationships, or how women will say, hey, I made these choices and now I'm at this state in life. And now I have to make different choices because my choices produce these type of results. So I got to thinking. I'm like, if you as a woman have been with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many guys that you have vetted and been in serious relationships with, and they have all ended from some level of trauma or disrespect or mishandling of sorts, maybe, just maybe, you're not qualified to pick the type of men you need to be with. And that got me thinking, because I have thoughts. I tell you guys all the time I have thoughts. And, if women have had the opportunity to pick exactly who they want to be with, based on desire, based on attraction, based on, willingness, openness, whatever. If they had these options and they picked those options and those options failed, isn't it about time that they should not be allowed to have the same range of options? I'll give you an example. It's kind of like, because I like to use cross examples to hopefully, make my point a little bit more concrete. If you were born into a family that you were blessed enough to have a trust fund, right? And when you hit a certain age, they gave you $10 million. And from the time that, let's say you got this $10 million at 30, and then now you're 40 and you're broke, right? Some could say, well, you don't deserve another opportunity to inherit $10 more million, right? Because you were given the opportunity to live at that lifestyle, live at that level, and you blew it. You didn't blow it once, you blew it multiple times. because you either weren't prepared, you either weren't seeking wise counsel, you were frivolous, you were careless, you were lacking discipline, so on and so forth, right? Now, I'm doing my best to make this make sense, so bear with me. To me, as a man, I believe that the accountability that we need to be holding women at is the same. No woman that I've encountered, observed, met, watched, interacted with, heard, has ever told me that she dated men that she absolutely did not want to date, that she absolutely was against dating, and took a chance and it didn't work out. No. What usually happens, gentlemen, is they date exactly who they want to date. They are with exactly who they want to be with, because they already have a series of standards and requirements before she even considers you for something serious. Now, the question I have is, women, if you have been allowed to date freely, and what I mean by freely is that you've had your pick of the litter and you've screwed it up, at what point do you as women say, hey, maybe I need to relinquish my ability to choose? Maybe I need to allow someone or a group of people I trust, people I admire and respect, to assist me in this process, because obviously I'm not good at it. That would be too much like right, as my mother would say, right? Because, gentlemen, we all know that our ability collectively is not the same. See, most men can desire the Budweiser girls or the Playboy bunnies or the supermodels on Sports Illustrated or whichever publication, Maxim, you know what I'm saying. Most men can desire that. Most men can lust after that. But can most men demand that type of woman and get her? Not without elevation, not without providing a lifestyle experiences, or some level of exchange that somehow, some way translates to it being equal or it making sense. You don't often find men who work at Chuck E. Cheese, Food for Less, Walmart, or whatever have the ability to command or demand baddies. Not to say there ain't no one-offs, but for the most part, right? It is almost without fail that if you see a Ferrari, a Maserati, a Lamborghini, a Rolls Royce, or something foreign that is on the higher tier of vehicle, and you see a man driving it, right? That the woman that's going to be in that car with him is not going to look like Lizzo. She is not going to be fat. She is not going to be ugly. She is going to be pristine. Why? Because that man has obviously worked, acquired some level of discipline, skill set, talent, whichever, to put himself in a position to drive a vehicle of that value. Gentlemen, women are born with their automatic value. They are born with their inherent ability to command or demand whatever type of man they want overall. And in the most cases, by the time they've hit 25, 27, 30, they have had a series of men that they have dated by pure desire, want, choice. They don't settle. They're not settling. They are picking the men they want to be seen with. They are picking the men they want to have sex with. They are picking the men that they want to show off to their girlfriends and make their social circle jealous. So why are we as men not holding them to the letter of the law and telling these heifers, shame on you for blowing through multiple series of men that did not work out, that you were allowed to have your cake and eat it too, that you were allowed to have your most desirable man or men, and you failed. It didn't work. It wasn't for you. It didn't translate to a lifetime of happiness. It didn't translate to, longevity. So why should you continue to have unlimited access to top tier men. Why? Because you're a woman? Because you have a vagina? Shame on you. Make it make sense. And I will continue to support this message because I believe that more men need to be bold enough to tell women, no, you do not get limitless opportunities. You do not get the opportunity to continue to command or demand whatever it is you want. At some point, you, especially if you've been given the opportunity to do this, you've been given the opportunity. Because I could be wrong, I have yet to meet a woman that have, in her dating career, spent her time dating men that she absolutely did not want to date, that she absolutely didn't want to be with. No, because that's not how women date. So men, join me in this journey. Join me in this pursuit to start holding women accountable for their selfishness, for their audacious behavior, and for their lack of being able to be accountable for their crappy choices. If you have had the privilege, and I mean privilege, of commanding and demanding the type of men that you want, sweetie, once, twice, 3 times, and it has not worked, it's time for you to pivot. It's time for you to start to reassess life and all of the many variables of it. And it shouldn't take you to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. It shouldn't take you to have to go through 1 or 2 divorces. It shouldn't take all of that. It should be just as simple as, you know what? A realization. Because we as adults all have this moment of realization. And you as women should come to the realization that, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I was biting off more than I could chew. Maybe, just maybe, I was operating out of a place of pure selfishness. I felt I deserved this. I believe this was for me. And that's just not it. So I need to humble myself and live at the level that I'm at now, where I can command or demand the flow of men that are willing to give me opportunities, willing to actually value me, and understand that I've been privileged. That privilege has gone. It came and went. My trust fund is depleted. I'm broke. I'm out here with the regular folks. No more VIP, no more champagne, no more boats. Sick and tired of seeing these women on these boats, by the way. But anyway, join me in this journey, men. Start holding them accountable. Ladies, get it together. This is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table. I know it's been a while. I know you guys have missed me, but I'm back. I'm gonna continue to put out this content. If you have not already done so, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. For my subscribers who are listening, continue to bring the commentary and let me know what you guys want to hear me talk about. Give me some feedback on what it is that you want me to expound upon, because I'm doing it for you guys. Signing out. You guys have a good one. Until next time.